that's what I'm talking about. We romanticize people, the brothers here, and we glad that he's here. Come on, y'all give it up for the chairman.
Right on.
All right.
Shout out to the people.
These brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
That means y'all.
Yeah.
We only have about 40 minutes. That's my understanding, so we're gonna jump right on into it. Is that cool? Governments, state, local, and otherwise, or politicians often do something called the state of the union, or the state of the state, or the state of the city. What's the state of black people right now?
First, I know it's the time. Rise on the first premise. Extend no respect to the next Black Panther Party. I'm humbled to be here. Just want to click this into the power. Event put together, Comrade Stan, the presentation off the hook. Those are folks, Stephon, Nine, Dudley. I tell you, like brothers coming about, sometimes individuals be seen as a myth. And there are different dynamics that, just even getting here, you know what I'm saying? So I want to state that, you know what I'm saying? I'm covered with the cloth, Black Panther Party, it's a tough act to follow. I really appreciate this event. I appreciate, again, I'm trying to find the process of the revolution. I took it, I heard loud and clear about people saying this, that, mill. But as Minister UEP said, without the people, revolution is impossible. So I just want to get that off my chest real quick. I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. I'm honored and humbled to chair the Black Panther Party Cubs, international organization that's carrying the legacy of the Black Panther Party. I think about, I'm gonna say 48 hours ago, it's kind of hard for me to put a test of time, actually point out time, because sometimes like this one whole day I'm moving and grooving. But July 8th, about 1:30 in the morning, there was an attempted break-in and assassination attempt on my life at the Hampton house, the house that my father grew up in. So this is a real time, and this is my first time even actually talking about it publicly. You know, brother asked me about. He said he heard about it, and sometimes I guess my best therapy is to work and keep moving. Like since I'm a former political prisoner, and I have really not sat down. I've been out. This September 14th will be 20 years since I've been out, and I'm constantly moving. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I get fearful. You stop too long, so my therapy is the struggle. To the heart of the question, the state of our people. We damaged. We're not destroyed. We're damaged. We're not destroyed. I said before one time about that I was being damaged. I was on a radio interview, and the sister she said, "Well, I'm not damaged." I said, "Well, you the most." I said, "This system can't transfer a television without being damaged." You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And what we've been through, I ain't talking about over 400 years. I'm talking about just every day what we go through, and it's embarrassing being oppressed.
Man,
it hurts. It's embarrassing. So a lot of times we try to jive ourselves about it. You know what I'm saying? So you go along with the euphemisms that the system gives us. You know, so whether it be police brutality, that's a euphemism. The reality is police terrorism. Every day is September 11th for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We being hit every which way, including loose. Chemical, biological warfare.
Yeah.
Chemical, biological warfare. You see what you mean by that? The Percocets, the pills, you know, that's chemical, biological warfare, you know, in our communities. And it's put out in the way, it's up, every radio station, the propaganda bombs that we call music.
Yeah.
These terms, we have to see, one of the disadvantages and advantages of our people is a non-acknowledged war. In other words, in Nazi Germany, it was acknowledged that Nazi Germany had created the ghettos. They have flipped the script on us to believe it's something that we created ourselves. They get us thinking these propaganda bombs, like it's on our own volition, the type of quote-unquote lyrics that these cats are saying. We're told directly and indirectly what to say. You know what I'm saying? What not to say. You know what I'm saying? You know you ain't get no airplay. You start talking about some common sense. Mm-hmm. It ain't got to be no revolutionary stuff. Just some common sense. You're not getting no airplay. You know? So we damaged, man, and it looks bleak at times. And as I was talking to brother earlier, do not rely on the system to tell you about certain progressive moves that are being made. And let me include them, I just said about the assassination attempt on my life and the house being broke in. Also, in that narrative must be also included less than 24 hours what happened to all the organizations, the people that came through, the phone calls from the penitentiaries, literally. Leadership was coming down on the chairman. We gonna say the rebuilding the door. The people, see, the people are our best security. There ain't no news. There ain't no news conference tell you about. You know what I'm saying? You gonna hear about the attacks because it can be it's like a part of the breaking process. When I was going to trial, doing the legal lynching, we ain't call those no trials. Really, the trials, legal lynching. There was no coverage about me going to court every day. Now they convicted me and sentenced me to 18 years. That hit the news. You feel what I'm saying? That sends a message to generations. See what happened to y'all? You feel what I'm saying? The way that they assassinated Chairman Fred in the Fisk and the Montclair, the police carried his body out. They was chanting, Chairman Fred is dead. The police were saying, but see, within that, I still see certain points that need to be addressed. Even in war, even the adversaries still respected the title. You know what I'm saying? His tombstone, where he's buried at in Haynesville, Louisiana, in the backwoods in Louisiana. Some cats said, man, that's bogus. So we had a big internal struggle about how to deal with this. In fact, in 1995, I was in Galesburg, one of the concentration camps. I ain't say prisons. One of the concentration camps I was held captive in. So we was voting about how we gonna deal with this tombstone. Some people said, man, in fact, little Bobby Hutton, his niece, little Bobby Hutton, 17 years old, assassinated. He died, he passed, was assassinated April 6, 1968. 2 days after Dr. King was assassinated. So his niece was talking, said, she said, when we get a new tombstone? So I said, no, we gonna say, first of all, we ain't got the resources, but also, we got to relate to the Emmett Till tactic. Let the world see.
Yeah.
He's in the grave, and they still coming to harm. See, Reverend Nat Turner.
Right.
And I say them titles, it ain't no ego trip. It's putting stuff in the correct context. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Reverend Nat Turner was so effective that the slave masters, the colonialists, after they took him out, they would tell their children, you got to be good before the ghost of Nat Turner come get you.
Right.
They show up his tombstone every year. So this past Father's Day, we didn't change the tombstone, we put a cover over it, you know what I'm saying? We just still can see through it, so the people see the punch marks, the bullet marks, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's organizations and individuals out here who are alive who ain't no threat to this system.
Man.
This government, you know what I'm saying? They study us. They know we're a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that. But again, we damage. We're not destroying. It looks bleak at times. Even I go myself. I try to show publicly. I go through battle fatigue. Sometimes damn, with the people. You know what I'm saying? And we have to assess it and also be clear. See, with my damage, you know what I'm saying? I'm clear. As I said on other occasions, though this government assassinated my father in a graphic way, they do and attempt to take away all of our fathers and mothers in one way, either shoot them down, lock them up, punk them out, string them up, kill them one way or another. So I'm clear who damaged, you know what I'm saying? I'm impacted, you know what I'm saying? But the state done it. A lot of us have been confused, have been twisted to believe that some black men is responsible for this. There's some black women responsible for this. It's anything except the ruling class. Anything except this Uncle Sam. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I know that there are those who collaborate with the system. See, when I go speak, people say, "Oh, people." I mean, events. And Philly, here comes Chairman Fred. They had to stop the violence events in Chicago. Excuse me, Chirac. I can say don't like that term. We add on to the old saying that says God created Africans and America made niggas. God created, it's all said. God created Africans and America made niggas. I know a lot of people believe and all. We get the little plantation, we put together this thing, we created it. We add on to that the marriage and the machine manufactured Chirac. When I come places to speak, they say, he always gonna blame the white man and the government. And we do. Ain't nothing come in Chicago, you never hear the word cartel mentioned. Why you think so? You never hear no news media. You think these black folks, 17-year-olds and dreadlocks kill each other. Why do you think the movie El Chapo was not allowed to be played in Chicago? Ted Hoover never even acknowledged the mafioso existed. So now you got a generation that comes up wearing Luciano and Al Capone their shirt and thinking they call him Lucky Luciano. Luciano wasn't lucky. He was an international snitch. He worked for the government. Real talk. And we gotta put this in context. Why we don't know about certain organizations? I'm just on the brother just now. And then if they start giving me to you like this here, blood, you better say, hold on, what's to this here? And I'm in court. One of the most politically connected judges. Won't give me 18 years. Michael P. Toomey, still serving right now. In fact, that case with Justice Smollett, you don't even know the political significance. That's the judge that got on that case with him. Yep. It's the same judge that gave Chief Malik Jeff Ford his state time. This same courtroom where the fugitive and all the movies were filmed at. Judge Michael P. Toomey. Come to court one day, they got all these people in there. I said, Lord, I said, Robert Willis. I said, who is they here for? Oh, that's for the jury. Jury, we're not going to go to trial. What is happening? Oh, yeah. I said, oh, no, something going on. We got to continue. So we get in front of the judge, and the judge talking like we're going to trial. So the lawyer say something. So the lawyer sitting there like he's silent as the lambs. I said, hold on, man. We need to continue. Say, continue. So the judge come over to a thing with me. Mr. Hampton, you come in here with your entourage. This is the best lawyer you could have ever had. I said, whoa. What'd you say? This is the best lawyer. He said that. So I said, he got to go.
Hell yeah.
So back to my point, them organizations and individuals they give you gotta say, hold on, man. If you the ones that killing me and attacking me, and you throwing this on commercials and saying this is the one you need to support, say, hold on, man. And back to my analysis earlier about the political, we put a Panther Cub political peel in the applesauce. Talking about the movie Judas the Black Messiah. There's certain things you have to put in there that you couldn't have time. You got to go back and look. Like you say, well, just spoon feed us. No. Because some cats are overdosed. They never had the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, a lot of times when people can't beat me, they give me everything. They found them 13 white children in a home. They was malnutrition. They were starving. They eat nothing. They came out, everybody, feed them. The doctor said, wait a minute.
Yeah, kill them.
Get the saline, drop water. You can kill them. But just feed them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you come in reactionary with your own assessment, you're taking it's like gardening. Talking to the lady here earlier. She came, she said, what you see down here? What you gonna do down here? What can we do this? I said, first of all, my last name is Hampton, not Houdini. Give me a minute. Let me study. Let me see what's going to happen. Let me see what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I came with this magical pill. You have to assess the situation like a garden. You don't come to a garden and say, just start growing corn. You have to assess it, take it into account. Napoleon was a tactician. Well, I can explain the question. He had everything put together, but he negated the weather conditions. Richard Pryor says he's a peopleologist. I like that term. Study the people. You assess what you do, then you move accordingly. That's if you're playing to win. A lot of us not playing to win. A lot of us playing for some ego trip to prove something to themselves, whatever. A guy told me in Stateville, we call it Deathville. I'm in the barbershop. All the leadership in the state, we in the barbershop. One guy walked up to me and said, Chairman Fred, you're one of the few leaders I've met that does not have the Caesar tactic. I said, do tell, explain to me. What is that? He's talking about how Caesar would rape some of his men, not for sexual gratification, but to have something over them. I said, well, I'm cut from. I encourage better lawyers, better fighters. We're playing, this ain't no ego tripping about me. I'm clear who I am. You know what I'm saying? We all got complexes. We're playing to win. Crazy as it sounds. We are literally fighting for self-determination. That's what we're fighting for.
That energy right there is, I need to celebrate that. And I'm going to ask that everybody else help me celebrate this energy to share. I was watching when you were speaking, and how, especially the young brothers and sisters kind of circle around. That's an energy most of us don't have. So I appreciate it and encourage it. But for the sake of these last 20 minutes, and the rest of the questions I'm going to ask.
Oh, we have a time limit.
Yeah. I'm going to ask, let's kind of give a brief answer so we can get as many questions in, and then we'll take maybe about 10 minutes to have questions from the gathering. One of my earliest experiences with the Panthers, and maybe I shouldn't say it in that tone, because I was on the Red Line. I grew up in Chicago, so I was on the Red Line. I was about 14 years old. And that was a brother, a tall brother. I could almost see him in my mind. And he was walking from train to train, selling the newspaper. And I remember his energy. I remember his determination. But also, I saw the despair on his face because the people were ignoring him. And so I'm wondering. You talked about the fact that we are hurt. We are damaged people. Are we moving in the right direction? Are we moving, and using as a trajectory that time in the 70s, 50 years ago, up until this time? Are our people listening now, or are they just as prone to ignore the movement, the ministry, the message of the Black Panther Party today as opposed to 50 years ago?
It's tug and pull, ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? It's I was speaking earlier. We said the Black Panther Party Cubs, we are the last call for alcohol.
Yep. That's it.
We are the ones that's in there consistent, even when it's not popular. And a lot of people ask me, say, well, how many members do you have in the Black Panther Party Cubs? I say, a lot of times it depends on how many people the police have murdered. It's idealistic, it's romanticism to believe that everyone comes into the struggle out of some love for the people. It's idealistic to believe in with the American Revolution, the narrative they gave you from Patrick Henry. That everyone was saying, give me liberty, give me death. The reality is what Thomas Jefferson said with the American Revolution. 1/3 was for it, 1/3 was against it, and 1/3 from whichever way the wind blew. That's the reality. In struggle. You have a certain, when I speak, I know I talk fast, but we say there's a difference between someone that was in the Black Panther Party and those that were Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? So the deal is that structure though, back to that structure, it sets an atmosphere that you can't pick up the weak links. It's like on National Geographic, the leopards, they be way back and say, listen, we're gonna sit back and hold for a minute. When them animals, they moving, they said, one of them going to stray away from the structure. We're going to pick them up. You had a climate in the 60s where the ante was upped. James Brown was forced to say, I'm black and I'm proud. He had a whole totally different song playing at first. A-Trap Brown, no one can imagine, you know what I mean? Locked up right now. Literally drove down to me, go back in the studio, that garbage you're talking about. He came back out saying, I'm black and I'm proud. He couldn't wear the blue draws he wore in Rocky movies on Living in America. That was a movie. The ante was up. Well, after the FBI had approached the Vice Lord to give him 16th Street under conditions back with the part of open free medical center on 16th Street, which Chairman Fred warned them brothers and sisters to appoint a unity. They worked at the free medical center. When the devil disciples got up public and said, we now pronounce, the black disciples. Due to political education, we received Chairman Fred Black with the party, the Black Stone Rangers, the Black Peace Stone Nation, even at the government's own records. I'm saying the government. A lot of times we don't believe that something is a fact. We say the white man said, the government said. The government said, when the Black Panther Party was in existence, there was a regular note to what they call black on black crime. Closing with this here. Malcolm X has said that the collective consciousness of the people ticks slowly, but it erupts with a volcanic force that make Mount St. Helens look like nothing. If you look at it, there's no polls that can give you the stuff that people remind me how they impact it. Certain it can trigger like an avalanche. You know what I'm saying? There's certain dynamics. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, I ain't know this dude knew this here. I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? So, sleeping giants, man.
In the early 70s, moving from that time to now, and then going maybe 10, 20, 30 years ahead, where do you see us ending up? And let me tell you why I asked that question, to give you a little bit more foundation. One of the things I noticed happened from the 60s to the 70s is that the government, in assassinating, your dad, assassinating Malcolm, assassinating others, some we don't even know about. They also uplifted certain leaders. They also put money behind certain leaders. They also put certain leaders on television and in the public eye in order to put something in front of us so that we would be distracted from the murders and all the other abuse that we were subject to. I suspect that is not only happening today, but it's happening more today. And so I'm asking, 10, 20, 30 years from now, based on what we see right now, what should we expect going forward?
There are times, I'm surprised. I'm still here, surprised. Like, people People talk about the crime in Chicago with Chirac. I say, what has been done to us, though? You should be surprised. A lot of youngsters have not engaged in cannibalism. Real talk. Real. I mean, what I see. I look at we study the underbelly of capitalism. You know, so a lot of people see the end. The end results. What is being done, man? What's being done to us? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie to you. I go through battle fatigues sometimes, but and we say we got to dare to struggle, dare to win. Got to keep fight all the way out. We've been against the odds a lot of times. Ups and downs, man. It's a protracted struggle. I haven't released this. I mean, just 2 days ago, just what happened at the house. You know, gonna keep on moving, but it's hits, man. I don't see us getting up out of this overnight. And we're gonna lose. It's a war. We have lost a lot. We're gonna lose a lot. You know what I'm saying? But we fight for self-determination. I might be a little bit optimistic. Our self-determination. You know what I'm saying, man? Hook or crook. You know what I'm saying, man? What the old saying? I'd rather down on my feet than live on my knees. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gotta have it. A lot of us have been forced to come to grips with that. A lot of us can't distinguish living from existing. You know what I'm saying? Since we are the upper end with the politicized, to be able to distinguish reactionaries from revolution. You know what I'm saying? His brother named Bishop Edgar Jackson, Chicago. One time he seen me on 63rd National. All the big people get all the money from the government. They just getting all their money. And so Bishop Edgar Jackson, he said, Chairman, I seen you get off the bus. He said, I know it hurts sometimes, all the work and protesting you do. People. He said, remember this, Chairman. The tiger in the wild don't eat as often as the tiger in the zoo. But the meat that the tiger in the wild gets is on his turn, it tastes even different than the tiger in the zoo.
One of the things that made the Black Panther movement in the 60s powerful was that it was a interracial movement in some ways, in terms of the connections that Chairman Fred being made outside of the Black community. Can we, and I'm glad you made it plain, we're in the midst of a war. We don't say it enough. We're in the midst of a race war. I think if we said it more and more, maybe it'll set in and people respond a different way when they know they're at war than when they think they're at peace. So in light of the fact that we were at war then, we're probably more at war now, in my opinion. Can we win this war? Can we fight in this war just for Black folk?
Ooh, ask Siri. Say Siri, has the Black Panther Party cause, were they in Standing Rock, North Dakota with the Native Indigenous community?
Man.
Ask Siri when the cases came down with the Native community at the trials. Was Chairman Fred have the name mentioned in the trial transcripts, which chiefs they met with down there? Ask Siri, or ask, scratch Siri. Come to my office. Our office is the streets.
Amen.
Our work hours are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What we just did, when the 14-year-old May Connell just got killed by the police in Little Village, we was out there, the coalition. You know, this is what we doing, not what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? Go look on official Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Instagram yesterday and look at what communities came there. This going on. See, a lot of us waiting on the ruling class to come say breaking news. This is happening. It's going down. They gonna now that I'm dead and gone. They say, okay, let it do snap. The Rainbow Coalition, we got it. We doing it right now. The Black Panther Party comes. You know what I'm saying? People don't know about it. Most people cannot grasp it again until certain conditions happen. We doing it. I can't wait. Like when Tupac come out, they say Dr. Dre, DJ, none of them could keep up with him on the producers. They said, well, Tupac, won't you wait for? Tupac said, I know I ain't got no guarantee tomorrow. His people still just not catching up with songs he did.
Man.
We moving and grooving, man.
All right. Were you about to say something? I thought you said something. In these days and time, when the Black community is something that's hard to define in some places, some parts of Indianapolis, you look at Martindale Brightwood, which is the community, part of the community we're in now. You got Hallville on the west side of Indianapolis. I think those are probably the most identifiable black communities in Indianapolis. In Chicago, you got West Inglewood and well, Inglewood in general. You got K-Town and some key places that are distinctly black. Now, I don't know what gentrification has done to some of those communities today, but certainly here, and I'm sure around the country, the concept of the black community is a endangered species. And so in light of that, how can we either define or redefine what it is to be a part of the black community so that we can have a better sense of where we need to go for the future?
Good, excellent question. Gentrification, we refer to it as the land grab. So we got to use brutal terms for brutal realities. You know what I'm saying? Not police brutality, police terrorism. Not gentrification, land grab. Percocets, chemical biological warfare. Brutal terms for brutal realities. So it sticks in our, you know what I'm saying, when we hear gentrification, well, that's nice. No, land grab. The new housing that is coming to get planned for us, our people's penitentiaries and the graveyards. Now, like every other dynamic, we under reactionary conditions. In other words, every day you can't define what's a movement, what the Black Panther Party is. Structure. My home, I grew up, I can walk blindfolded on my block and tell you who stayed in which house. Now, all you see in Chicago on the streets, U-Haul trucks and hearses.
Yeah.
Reactionary means, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to organize. In the prison, what they would do with us, they'd lock us down and shake us around. I'm not gonna time thing, but I'm say real quick. We had to fight, we had to move fast, we had to move organized, we had to be consistent with certain definitions. I know a lot of times it's more easier. I just told the brother filming. I said, what if I grab the top of your camera and say, I like this tripod? That's not a tripod. There's a definition for that. There's a definition for a community. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, it's not communities. And it's hurt. We have to call it for what it is.
And I'm going to ask one more question, then we're going to come to the audience. What's the role of the black church? How can the black pastor help with the Black Power movement in 2021 and going forward?
There should be no entities in our community, you know what I'm saying? That's devoid, that's detached from, you know, some position, and not forcing the absolute into the church, the music arena, the athletes, whatever. This encompasses on some role we have to play, and Andy has to be up. It's like when they say in Chicago, it's a big thing. They say, man, you plug, you folks, you people, or you're neutron. Neutral, like, okay, I'm not, you know, not neither one. Nobody can take a neutral position in this war waged on our people. So the church is some point of unity that, you know what I'm saying, that all these dynamics in our community have to say, I can't be on the front line. Nipsey Russell. Nipsey Russell, the comedian James Richard, Nipsey Russell, talked about how my mother was on the finance committee. When she came to meet with him, how she told me donations for the Black Panther Party. He said, man, I ain't giving nobody no money for no guns. But he said, I went through an envelope under the door for the free beverage program. So, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's some role to play, the church included.
All right, thanks so much for sharing. Let's give him another hand. We're going to try to keep this in order. I know there are probably a lot of questions. I'm going to try to recognize those hands as they come up and keep them in order. We only probably got about 10 minutes. Am I right about that? Or 15 minutes? Brother right here.
We would have more time. We're going to give them a long answer.
So let's make sure we have quick questions and not whole paragraphs and statements, please, people. Let's make sure we have good questions. Who we going right here? Who did you point to?
I thought he had his hand up, did you?
Okay.
Your dad came from a stable, middle-class black household in Mayfield, Illinois, right?
Maywood.
Maywood, I'm sorry. And you was born into the struggle from such a grand figure. Your dad, like coming from stability, he had to make a choice to join the struggle, right? Coming from somebody who's such a grand black figure in our community, you had to make that same choice. We've seen some kids, historic black civil figures, take another route and use their parents' fame to chase the bag. If you could, what made your father make that choice, and then a generation later, what made you make that choice to stay in the struggle and fight for the people, opposed to some of your counterparts who took other roads?
Reynolds. Reynolds, good question. It's a piece in the assassination of Chairman Fred, as we would call it, the murder of Fred Hampton, the film documentary. And Chairman Fred, it's right before the police came to shoot up the headquarters. And Chairman Fred was talking about, he said, I grew up in a so-called well-to-do situation, but I was seeing that there were more people who were doing without than those who doing, who were doing all right. And that's, some people, they can show you what we call a lot of slave success stories. Raise up individuals. Look how great this person is. Wow. Then there are those who can relate to say, wait a minute, it's not adding up. You know what I'm saying? They can say, it's an old African axiom that says, what's good for the family may not be necessarily good for the community. What's good for the community is good for the family and the community. You know what I'm saying? And to relate to the people. You know what I'm saying? It's not that Chairman Fred was, you said, he could have wanted to be a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? And even myself, I also attribute even the dynamics. I grew up in Chicago. Even though the structure's been corroded, but this was just, I'm not the chairman just because I look like him and talk like him. I'm held accountable. Checks and balances. You know what I'm saying? You come there, like a guy called me one time from the East Coast. He said, man, I thought you said one of those snitches in Chicago. I said, I never said that. I told you don't call them gangsters. You'll say this is a structure. Say, okay, this is that, this is this, and that structure, that accountability. Also, you'll say, and also, I don't want to say this the wrong way. I gotta give credit to my adversaries, the state, the system. Their attacks help remind me also. You know what I'm saying? I'm 15 years old. The police station on 61st and Racine. They let me know. Oh man, they said, which one of y'all is related to the Hampton? So it was about 8 of us in the room. This ain't the Price is Right. Nobody jumping up. You know what I'm saying? You should be quiet. So the police come in there, we pull the pictures out. I'm the third person. He said, that's your man right there. If I ever attempt to forget, I'm reminded. On the case I was given 18 years for, Sergeant Joseph P. Grubasek. That's who's the head of all the agencies that locked me up. I found out on bond with the Panther papers, this is the same on surveillance as my father, Chairman Fred. I said, damn. So I'm constantly, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in a place where things ain't changed, now the names ain't even changed. You know what I'm saying? So, and as they say in church, what's your calling? I believe this is my calling.
All right.
I thought there was a question on the camera stand there.
Yeah, oh, okay. Cameraman got a question. Absolutely.
All right. I've done some research of my ancestors, such as Mayor Evers, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton. And it's like, to me, every one of them has something in common. They all got assassinated, right? And for me, I'm thinking now, because it's people that want to rise up, but it's like they see this. And it's like, how do you protect the message or the power and not, I ain't gonna say that they fumbled. I'm not gonna say that our ancestors fumbled the ball, but they was not protected. They didn't get protected and therefore assassinated. And here we are having this conversation on what they accomplished, and now we're trying to accomplish more. How do we protect that? How do we better protect it?
With the Apaches, the colonialists was telling the Apaches that Geronimo, or the Apaches, was making it rough for them. Geronimo said, no, I'm really exposing what's been going on all the time. About who really is scalping and attacking us. They killing us, they've been killing us every day in every which way. We say, so if I was going to deny it, there have been assassinations, and you know what I'm saying, like with the Panther Party in particular, what they did, heightened the contradictions. And one of the Achilles heels, weaknesses of this system, U.S. in particular, is, as our comrade's standpoint, we talk about turning the lights on. Be upfront. You know what I'm saying? Why you see that just even when you say the terms Chairman Fred and assassination in that movie, Judas and Black Messiah, this is one of the most radical movies Hollywood has come out. We've done it in a way that it up the ante. You seen the Billie Holiday movie? They tell you about the FBI on them.
Right.
We up the ante.
Yeah.
We up the ante.
Yeah, right.
They've been targeted, but this was a discussion. Well, don't talk. You know, whisper. Them. Who is them? You know. Once you start heightening the contradiction, this also serves as a protection. As Chairman Fred Hampton. He's the largest chapter of the Black Panther Party. They don't ego tripping. That puts in political context of a war being waged. See, we think it's a war on drugs, war on guns, war on gangs. Ain't no war on drugs, they don't war on guns, no war on gangs. It's war on our black asses. Once you start calling that question up front about it, start using those terms. No, I told you, the U.S. aggression against Vietnam, not the war. You know what I'm saying? Those terms, that helps protect you. If you put it up front, say you with the Crips. And the Bloods get down on you. And then you go to the crib and you say, man, I don't know what's happening. Joe, he just disappeared. And so they had an advantage because you weren't even saying that getting down on you. Call the question.
Yeah.
In that movie, you heard him say he was assassinated. COINTELPRO was an actual program that came out, not the horse's mouth, but the pig's mouth. J. Edgar Hoover, director of the FBI, William Sullivan, deputy of the FBI. I ain't say them. I ain't say no vague. Them, the bad man, the devil. I'm saying point blank. A program was created to discredit, demise, disrupt, and destroy any black nationalist movement, especially amongst the youth. This man, at the age of 14, the FBI tapped my grandparents' telephone.
My God.
Washington, D.C. thought it was a typo. It's man can't be that young. Once you start being upfront, it ups the ante. We clear what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And that also, I'm saying this. We ain't got time to wait on nobody. You know what I'm saying? But people are, well, wait till everybody get conscious. Because this system, see, COINTELPRO, they know 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? Rules and regulations, game time, stop. They moving.
That's right.
It's stuff I'm saying now, the catch they gonna catch, I'm dead and gone. But you think I got time to sit around and wait? They just kicked it out door 48 hours ago. So what I'm saying? Now you think I'm waiting on somebody to come to the Oliver Stone movie or some white man to come to the Kerner Commission to tell you what's happening? I'm gonna lay it out. And there's certain things, a lot of people become with certain things, with certain things happen to them. I was, real quick, we go down to Ferguson, at the Mike, we call it Mike Brown town. We get down to Ferguson, I'm point blank telling this sister, this is a different organization. Tell them, with this romanticism, oh no, we all the same, we just come together. I said, okay, she couldn't hear it, because our own subjective point, so what they wanted. Then I go back, for Darren Seals, who was assassinated. Darren Seals.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I've never even heard of him.
Right.
He one of the individuals in Ferguson.
Come on,
they say that died in the car got burned up. Darren Seals, type his name in. So he died in the funeral.
Hey.
So the same sister I see, so the brother say, man, when you talk to, they kind of, something happened in the group, she talked to these guys and this Black Panther, they fell out. I said, oh, now it's an issue because I'm personal with him.
Yep.
This legacy. I'm consistent. When I leave an event, when I leave a meeting, there's no conclusion, I'm gonna come out alive. This legacy don't come out alive. A legacy is more important than your life. On that movie set, Judas and Black Messiah, I'm still damaged. I told him at nighttime how to cut, stop. To this day. To this day. Constant battles. It was time I was saying, I wish I didn't know what I knew. Stuff that you might take for granted. The scene when they come in and shoot at the headquarters. Battle. No. Who shot first? All that. Battle. What post to go where? How they move? What clothes? All of that. Politics, everything is political. Everything. Words, terms, fashion, everything. When I move, how I move, all that. You gotta take that into account. So protection. You got, and I'm gonna say this because Malcolm X said, you can do everything you want to for this system. You can say, Master, am I good now? I'm laid down for you. It's a parasitical system. We'll say, no, nigga, turn over. It's never satisfied. So when you talk about Mega Evans, brother, when you talk about Chairman Fred Hampton, brother, you make sure you also try to include the countless of brothers and sisters who did not fight back and how they killed them anyway. You know what I'm saying? What you do, this system, it's capitalism. There needs to be Africans in Ghana getting the cocoa for Hershey, Pennsylvania to receive the resources. It got the cats on the street corners overdosing. We don't say for the U.S. government the resource of it. It's one comes at the expense of another. They'll kill you anyway. One way or another, got you. Then you can be a slave success story, but at the expense of what? Name me one of these famous entertainers. Name me some that's still connected to their community. They do psychological profile. That movie, the James Brown movie, when they told James Brown, and the dude came to him, and the other guys, look, what's going on? James Brown said, oh, I know what time it is. I know what it is. I know this. He remembers a child in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
I make it at the expense of cutting them off. He said, I know that, man, that's the success. See, I'm cut from a cloth, connected to the people. That's my best security. That's what came, you know what I'm saying? And they ain't gonna report about that. Because once you find out that, like I said, in India, when they train the elephant in India, if the elephant sees a trainer step on a cup, and that elephant steps on the cup, that elephant has to be transferred or destroyed. Because it's a problem. The elephant will go back to Buster and say, man, do you know this dude don't weigh nothing? Why is he on just a stick and whip controlling us? Once you start making it, if they put on the news, what's on my Instagram yesterday, how people came from all over and put that door up, that's a problem. Once you start talking about the connection with the cartel in Chicago, how the crime really going there, it's a problem.
Real quick, now I know we said that's what I was going to ask. I was going to answer and address, or rather identify folks according to how their hands went up. We probably only have time for one more question, and we're writing about that. I know we passed time. Brother, I'm going to ask if you would not ask your question and allow us to take from that protocol. And I want to go to our elder, Father Reggie Jones, for our final question. Is that all right with you? Thank you, sir.
All right.
As the elder, I must say, may I speak? May I speak?
Yes, you may.
Wait on the mic, Reg. We won't hear you.
May I speak?
Yes.
Thank you. I keep asking you, what should we do here in Indianapolis? I know that I realized a long time ago when I spoke, I say, I'm not a leader, I'm not a preacher, I'm just one of the masses that's speaking, because I know leaders are bowed off or shot off, killed. So I have a responsibility. My responsibility is to my children, number one. So what am I going to teach them? My daughter, I gave her a Maury Evans book at 14. I said, read it. Why should I read it? I said, read it. She read it. So here I am now at 81, passing the baton to my daughter to say, you got to carry it on. The mistake that I made was, I thought I could retire. Hell, I can't retire. As long as I live and breathe, I must fight for what I believe in. If my father told me, if it's not worth dying for, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. My mother said, Reggie, pray first. So I do it all. I'm not knocking the church, but I knew these Baptist preachers here that I had to call the Panthers and say, hey, I need a breakfast program here. And we're going to put about dealing with the Panthers. So here we are now. Right now, at 81, she don't like me to tell her age, so I ain't going to say that. Thank you. You're welcome. right now, but my legacy is going to tell my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, no, this nigga was a fighter. He didn't quit. I don't know how to quit.
Come on, Reggie.
I don't know how to quit.
That's right.
I got prostate cancer. The doctor said, you're going to die. Forget you, doctor. I'm going to do what I got to do.
Come on,
I'm
Reggie.
still standing. And I'm going to keep on standing. I respect your father, and I respect you. But we have to fight here in Indiana. The most important thing to understand is we are connected. They keep trying to separate us. You can't separate us. We connected. We made history then, we're making history now, and our history will continue as long as we know who we are. And that we know that somebody in here gonna sell us out. If we find out, we gonna kill you. I know we're supposed to say that, but that's the truth. That's the truth. So I know I'm looking for some young dudes, can't say this, that you go shoot at the right people. Nigga, you shooting at the wrong people. So they have to be trained. See, I was a Cub Scout, Boy Scout. So I learned how to shoot a rifle. I learned how to shoot a bow and arrow. I knew how to take a slingshot and shoot a nigga in the back of the head and say it wasn't me. This is what we have to do. I respect what you do. I admire, and I think the people who put this together is not over 200 people here. But the message must be carried on after you leave. See, the question is, what y'all niggas gonna do here? Look. White folks has audacity to tell us that we can't say nigga no more. And we go for, we got to say the N-word. Forget that. Y'all probably said, now you don't want us to take the self-esteem from it. So in closing, I'm talking too much, I'm sorry. Because it's built up in me. We must never quit. The struggle is never over. And understand, white folks is going to always fight us. For those who believe that we can kumbaya and pray, and that's it, we're in a bad shape. So we must keep on fighting. And as an elder at 81, don't give up.
Right.
Don't quit. Thank you.
All right, let's show our appreciation to the elder. Brother Reggie Jones. Brother Chairman, words of encouragement and final words.
Right on. Okay, revolutionary. Appreciate y'all. I'm honored and humbled to be here. We had a discussion earlier, and maybe I was going to include because a lot of times we look at revolution, we look at attacks in a reactionary way. Everything from the busing programs in schools, you know what I'm saying, all the different, when you talk about stuff, history is important to put stuff in context of time and look at like a lot of times, like a lot of people see it as a problem with America when Trump came in office, you know what I'm saying? And like Trump has said, I think that the detainees sent us to cages, they had people locked up. Trump said, man, them cages been back there since Carter, Jimmy Carter, you know, he just guilty of exposing what's been happening all the time. So Dr. Pierre trying to look at the process of, you know what I'm saying, like you know, somebody come here, they in shape, like, man, what kind of pill he take? He's like, no, man, I've been working out, you know what I'm saying? So the process of that also, even with the churches, even we offer one prisoner, one prisoner, one contact campaign we have. I mean, everyone should get at any given time, give us a status check on some particular prisoner, whether it be Mumia Abu Jamal, Sunday Coley, Jeff Boyd, Larry Hoover, your cousin, sister down the street. Don't take for granted they're alive in there, you know what I'm saying? So one prisoner, one contact. Also, my sister reminded me too, we're going to do this organizing tactic. I want to get all the young, particularly these young brothers and sisters, but everybody. I'm throwing this out there too. Get the table, get sponsor one of these cats with the shirts over there we got over there. Get the shirts over there with Chairman Fred Hampton on them, and it was Deborah Johnson. She was 19 years old, locked up. Let these images be blazing on their, you know, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, going to get these Luciano and, you know, John Gotti, you know what I'm saying? Even like these so-called rappers, you know what I'm saying? People, they put these entertainers as our leadership. Right. Malcolm X, they interviewed Malcolm X one time, and the interviewer said, well, Jackie Robinson disagrees with you about violence. Malcolm X said, what? Say, hold on.
What the hell, yeah.
We don't be holding up no Bob Hope or no Marilyn Monroe for you as your spokesperson. You know what I'm saying? Imagine white people coming out the movie theater seeing Down and saying, I wonder what Bruce Willis thinks about North Korea.
Man.
But look at the people they put for us to be quoted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We have not role models, we have real models. The Cubs are coming, the Black Panther Party Cubs are here. We not a safe subject. We not hard to find. You know what I'm saying? SaveTheHamptonHouse.org. 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 Go to it. It's a donate button on there too. Don't be scared to touch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Instagram on Christian Chamber, Fred Hampton Jr. You know what I'm saying? And come to our office, the streets. As brother just pointed out, Indianapolis, I'm a guest. You know what I'm saying? I want to dialogue with the people, see how we can, you know, because I don't come in like I'm some great savior. I'm even kind of hesitant with the term leaders. Minister Dewey P. Newton said, we servants.
That's it.
Servants of the people. I'm honored and I'm humbled to be here. So I want to sit down and dialogue again. Make sure y'all, all everybody else, if they ain't got it, I know some finance, I did the PPP laws, all of them came out, you know what I'm saying? So get them shirts over there, man. They ready to go. Thank you. August 30th, August 20th, the Chairman Fred Street Party. Let's get a caravan.
Yeah.
Let's come to Chicago, August 29th, August 30th. Let's put it out there. The annual Chairman Fred Street Party. The people from the movie, they won't be there, they'll be filming there, so I'm what? So, August 29th, August 30th, come on Chicago for the annual Chairman Fred Street Party.
Thanks so much for sharing, brother.
Thank you so much.
Right
So I
on.
appreciate you.
Come on, y'all can be better than that. Y'all give it up.
Right on.
Yeah.
Forgive my host, he was a little long-winded, y'all. Forgive him.
All right, well, I'm looking to Anthony Beverly now, as our time has been well spent, and again, I know we have eaten well, and now it's fellowship time to have these connections. Listen, every person here is important. Don't leave without at least making some kind of connection with somebody. Beverly, come on, man. You remember when they would call, where's Leonard at? Leonard, Beverly, come on up. They would call Russell Simmons up out of Def Comedy Jam. Actually, having the last words. Come on, Leonard, you was finna ask your question. Come on up, come up this way. You ain't gonna do that. Come on. They have me up on the stage all day. They try to stay in the back. Like, y'all give it up for these two brothers. Come on, y'all help me.
Man.
Give it up for these two brothers. Yeah, come on, y'all help me. Now, they had the audacity and the gall to bring Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. to Indianapolis, Indiana. And on behalf of myself, and I think Elder Reggie would say the same thing, thank you for being that outrageous and that concerned about the people. He Cares, Inc. and Stop the Violence, Inc. And I want y'all to give it up again for these two brothers and all that they do. All right, we're gonna let Leonard close us out, send us out. Listen, you never want to miss the benediction. One of the biggest challenges, they said Judas left before the benediction. Had he stayed during the benediction, he'd have heard the Christ say, all y'all gonna betray me at some point. Never leave before the benediction. You need your blessing. Will you give us the benediction?
No, I won't. You will. But I do want to say this. I'm going to pat myself on the back because I selected this dude, right, to do this. This was my selection. This dude showed up today. This is my guy right here. And I thank you. I really do. I thank you, man. You showed up, baby.
All right, so let's talk to God and get out of here. Okay. All right, let's pray. God, we thank you so much. Give us your blessings, your mercy, and your grace as we leave this place, but never your presence. Wrap your strong arms around us and protect us and hold us until the next time we meet again. We love you and we honor you. Amen.
Amen.